Today, we delve into the sands of ancient history to examine an artifact that should not exist. We are looking at a relic discovered in the darkness of an Egyptian tomb, a small object that challenges our entire timeline of technological advancement. If this artifact is what some engineers believe it to be, then the history of aviation needs to be rewritten by at least 3,000 years. Grab your coffee. We are decoding the secret hidden inside the small, light wooden object known as the Saqqara Bird. The artifact was first uncovered in 1898 during an archaeological dig at a tomb in Saqqara, one of ancient Egypt's most vital necropolises. The tomb dated back to the 3rd century BC, meaning the object is over 2,000 years old. It was found with other artifacts and was initially dismissed by archaeologists, including its discoverer, as a ceremonial object, perhaps a children's toy or a stylized religious standard representing a falcon, which was sacred to the god Horus. For decades, it was simply catalogued, labeled as an unknown bird model, and stored in a dusty drawer in the Cairo Museum. It was a footnote in the Grand Library of Egyptian History. The object is crafted from sycamore wood, lightweight and remarkably durable. It measures approximately 18 centimeters, 7.1 inches, across, with a wingspan of about 14 centimeters. Crucially, the wings are not flat. They are thickest at the center, tapering towards the edges, a profile known today as an airfoil. The body is cylindrical, and there is a rudimentary tail, though the tail assembly is damaged and was likely more complete at the time of its discovery. Its official designation remained simple: Model No. 6347. For 70 years, the Saqqara Bird slept, its significance overlooked by classicists and archaeologists who lacked the specialized knowledge to interpret its form. Then, in the 1,970 seconds, it caught the attention of Dr. Khalil Messiha, an Egyptian physician, parapsychologist, and amateur aviation historian. Messiha immediately saw something that transcended ancient falcon iconography. He saw a machine. Dr. Messiha was among the first to argue that the Saqqara Bird was not just a bird model, but a scaled-down model of a working glider or aircraft. He pointed out several features that are central to modern aeronautics. The most crucial feature is the geometry of the wings. Modern bird statues typically have wings that are relatively flat and simple. The Saqqara Bird's wings, however, are slightly curved and possess an anhedral, downward sloping, or slightly dihedral, upward sloping, angle depending on how the wings are mounted. This angular design is vital for creating stability and lift in fixed-wing aircraft. Furthermore, the model's weight and material placement suggested its center of gravity was correct for sustained flight. Its wingspan to length ratio is nearly identical to that of some contemporary gliders. According to Masiha and other engineers who later examined the model, if it was simply a toy or weather vane, the detailed aerodynamic features would be utterly superfluous. The Egyptians were expert craftsmen. They did not waste design elements on simple statuettes. This aviation theory immediately created a chasm between the scientific disciplines. Mainstream Egyptologists insisted that any connection to flight was coincidence. They adhered to the official theory. The Saqqara bird was a stylized depiction of a bird in flight, perhaps a wind vane, or, as originally thought, a ceremonial toy. They argued that the Egyptians, in their vast documented history, left absolutely no other evidence, no drawings, no texts, no blueprints of working with fixed-wing flight, or even the concept of flight beyond ornithology. To believe the Saqqara bird was a technological model is to believe that the Egyptians discovered, perfected, and then utterly abandoned one of the most transformative technologies in human history without recording it once. But the aviation proponents fought back with engineering tests. They created exact-scale replicas of the Saqqara bird, carefully filling in the missing pieces, particularly the tail assembly, which they argued would have been a vertical rudder crucial for stability. When tested, these replicas, without any power source, were capable of gliding for significant distances and maintaining a stable trajectory. The tests, conducted by researchers like engineer Simon Garside, demonstrated that the Saqqara bird's design was, mathematically and physically, capable of sustained, controlled flight. The model possessed genuine aerodynamic qualities, confirming that its creators, whether intentionally or accidentally, had stumbled upon the principles of lift and balance. This leads us to the heart of the mystery. What was its purpose? If it wasn't a blueprint, could it have been a religious representation of a known yet undocumented concept? Some theorize it may have been a model of an ancient ceremonial kite, a large, complex, unpowered flying device used in religious festivals. This explains the careful engineering while remaining within the bounds of known ancient technology. However, the more tantalizing theory is that the Saqqara bird represents a piece of lost technology. It is not the first time we have encountered an artifact that challenges history. Our channel has explored the Baghdad Battery, which suggests ancient electrical knowledge, and the baffling complexity of Pumapunku, which implies lost architectural techniques. Could the Saqqara bird be the aviation equivalent of these anomalies? Perhaps the Egyptians did not invent full-scale aircraft, but what if they used large gliders for surveillance or simple transportation across the Nile? Or what if the knowledge was brought to Egypt by an even older, unknown civilization, such as Atlantis, whose remnants we discussed in a previous episode? The Saqqara bird's silence is loud precisely because it sits alone in the historical record. Its discovery compels us to ask difficult questions about the nature of ancient knowledge. Did technological progress occur not in a steady, linear climb, but in fragmented bursts, discovered and then forgotten? The Wright brothers may have been the first to fly in modern history, but the Saqqara bird forces us to consider that they were simply the first to rediscover a secret known centuries ago. The Saqqara bird, resting in its glass case, is a tiny wooden paradox. Is it a child's toy, a symbol of the god Horus, or a ghost from a past where the sky was not the limit? We may never know its intended purpose, but we do know this. The ancient hands that carved it possessed a deep, intuitive understanding of the forces required to conquer gravity. That is the secret the Saqqara bird refuses to release. Tell us in the comments. Do you believe the aerodynamic properties of the Saqqara bird are a deliberate attempt at modeling flight, or merely an impressive coincidence? Keep questioning everything.